we're going to have a quiz Monday. I have a handout with extra practice over these limits right now. So Monday, first thing, we'll grade that. I'll work out any of them that you want and any other review that you need. So the handout is the majority of what's on your quiz. You have to be able to find limits from a graph. Which the first question on this review handout has one of those. Okay, so being able to look at a graph and evaluate the limits. The bulk of the quiz is just using the limit laws. So simplifying expressions until you get to the point where you can plug in your number. And make sure on those you're writing limit on every step as we go through. I will probably put one squeeze theorem question. So you know it'll be something involving a sine or a cosine, because that's all we've done with them. And we use those because we know it's between -1 and 1, and we don't have limit laws for our trig functions. So there'll be one of those on there. The only other thing on this quiz, there'll be an average and instantaneous velocity question. All right, we talked about that back when we were making the tables. Now, obviously, we have worked beyond that. Now we have all these laws. The tables are kind of our last resort. If we do all the algebra techniques, factoring, reducing, multiplying by conjugate, whatever it might be, and the problem doesn't go away, that's when we have to resort back to a table. But what you need to know from those, average velocity is just the slope between 2 points. So you have to find 2 ordered pairs, calculate the slope between them. That's your average. Instantaneous is the value the average velocities approach. That's when we had the full table and we looked at what value we were getting closer to. So, would I be able to have you create a full table without a calculator? Probably not. But I might give you the information, give you a fairly simple equation and say, okay, you have 80x minus 10x squared. Find the average velocity between x equals 2 and x equals 3. Okay, could we do that? Yeah, you need ordered pairs, so you would have to plug in 2, get your y, plug in 3, get your y, and then find your slope between them. As far as the instantaneous, since you couldn't create a whole table without a calculator, I'd probably have a table created for you and say, based on this information, what's the instantaneous velocity? So, any questions about what to expect on this quiz? So like I said, most of it is limit laws, so that's what I have for you. I